So we thought we'd start recording our horsey conversations, didn't we?
We did, yeah, absolutely.
And then we were talking about the fact that we put Suri on grass, didn't we?
We did.
We left the stable and went and put her in the big green field. And we were just talking about, I decided not to keep driving up there every day.
Yep.
Because they're now a round trip, so the yard owner will keep an eye on her and do her hay. So we were just talking about how feral she's gone.
Absolutely.
Considering she's not been handled every day. And it happened quite quickly, didn't it?
It did. It certainly did.
So what happened today? So we went in and we went to the line of fencing with the strip grazing with the electric fence post, and what happened? She come cantering over.
She did. Absolutely. She was hoping that
we would move them and give her a couple of feet of grass.
Yeah.
But when she came cantering over, I didn't want to. She was quite feisty, wasn't she? So
she was.
I didn't want to reward that behaviour. So I walked away from the fencing and she
and carried on poo picking.
She had a massive tantrum. So what she did was she charged at me. She charged at me and I just turned my back and ignored her.
Yeah.
And I think I might have seen a couple of back hooves about.
She flew off, come round towards me for a second.
Tried to intimidate you.
Exactly.
And I said, don't look at her, just ignore her. And then she went off and sulked in a corner, didn't she?
She certainly did.
So then...
And the way she looked back at you as well.
She was keeping an eye on me, see if I would move those fence posts. And in the end, I called her over, didn't I? And we did it calmly. And I said, come over to me and stop being silly. So she did come over. She walked over this time, respectfully, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then... Oh, sorry, it cut off there. So where were we? Oh, yeah, she walked over then, didn't she?
Yes, she did, yeah.
And then once she was behaving herself, then I...
Moved the fence post.
Then I went over to one fence post. And she was quite good, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So we just wondered... And that was the other thing. And then I went over to the hay bale on the outside of the field and I grabbed a big armful of hay and I put it in big 3 piles into the field.
Yeah.
And she had her back to me at that point. But I knew she would have clocked that.
And it's funny as well because there's already hay there was hay already near the trough.
But this is fresh hay, isn't it?
This is fresh, yeah.
It's not only that though, it's because I've brought something else in. It doesn't matter if it's still hay.
Yeah.
I'm still carrying in hay.
Yeah.
It still needs checking out. But she waited, didn't she? She waited till I'd put... That must have been a good 5 minutes. And all that time she had her back to me and I was thinking, I know you've seen me.
Yeah.
And then what did she do? She actually walked down, didn't she, after 10 minutes?
Yeah, moved
and
over to one.
Sniffed each pile. But even after then, I said to you, any second now, she's going to canter back to that strip of grass I gave her. And what did she do?
Flew back.
Just flat out gallop, wasn't it?
Flat out gallop back. We're
not sure now whether she thinks, because she's left it, maybe she thinks... I don't think she thinks she sees me move them, so maybe she thinks I can move them back again.
You did say one, you did move a few more. And
no, but that was with her. She was there.
Yeah, but when she flew back, she checked each individual post. She
did.
ran down the line.
I don't think she was doing that.
You don't think so? Why?
I think she was checking. I do think she was checking. None of the posters moved, but I think she went back to the patch where there was more grass.
Right, okay.
But I also think it's because... I don't know what I was going to say. I think it's because it's about competition. Like, she might think another horse might get that fine bit of grass. Or, I don't know. Because they do share though in the field, don't they? But they respect their own space. So they're not, they don't want a horse within 15 feet of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do if they're sharing hay, which is another tip. Then, if you've got more than one horse in the field, you need to spread that hay out, otherwise there's going to be problems. So I think when the horses are grazing together and quite close, that's probably the most dominant and they're second in command. then the other ones below that hierarchy, or they form their own hierarchy, they, you know, they're all keeping that space, aren't they?
Yes.
Until something spooks them, they all run off together and gather together and stand and snort. So if you're going to hay the field, you know, this is why I don't like seeing a bale of hay just dumped. They've just put one, you know, you see that, don't you? They just put one big round bale in the field.
Yes.
With 5, 10, 15 horses.
Around that one bale.
And then walk away. And what they're not seeing is other horses being booted and chased off. And the ones at the bottom of the hierarchy, they get nothing.
Yeah.
So if you're splitting that bale between, say, 20 liveries, and you've got one livery that's paying for their share, that horse actually isn't going to get any.
Yes, yeah, that's a very
You
good
know,
point,
I actually find there's so much wrong with dumping hay in one spot.
Yeah.
Also, because it encourages the horse to stand there all day. You know, you see horses lying in it, don't you? And
yeah.
they don't want to leave that hay either, because they think horses are going to get it.
Mm.
Same as Siri when we moved the fence post, so she's quite protective of that food resource. It's a, you know, that's a resource that she must protect, and you know, horses will protect things.
Yeah.
And that, you know, they can be quite dangerous when they're. You're not going to mess around with a horse that's trying to protect its foal or its food.
You do see that over the water trough.
Yeah, you do.
You do. You see that where they stand. They've had enough and they stand. And they're just. You've got a queue of horses.
What I've seen is the dominant horse will drink first.
Yeah.
So in that case, I think that would work in the wild, because the dominant horse would drink first. But then if you've got, you know, a structured system where those horses have all been worked together, or a few have been worked, and then you've got 3 or 4 or 5 horses, and that's the only water source, and it actually, the trough then, what's that, 2 feet or 3 feet, rather than a group of wild horses finding a river where they could all be spaced out properly. That doesn't happen in a field, does it? So you could have a group of horses being turned out, and that's probably why that dominant horse will drink what it wants, but then just stands there. Maybe it's not done, maybe it wants another drink and it's not ready to move off yet. So really, fields aren't being designed properly, or paddocks aren't being. Perhaps couple of water troughs or larger water troughs. That could just be in the UK, I don't know.
Yes, yeah, that's a good point.
So, but then you've got the thirsty horse stood around waiting for a drink.
Yeah.
What does it do? It gives up, then eats the bale of hay that stood there doing nothing, and people wonder why. I mean, colic. You could write a book on colic, couldn't you, really?
Yeah.
Or bring in a thirsty horse in from the paddock, and it's too hungry. Say you've brought a horse in, I don't know, in the winter, summer, hasn't been near the water trough, sees that tasty hay net there, and then all of a sudden it decides, actually I won't drink, I'll just eat that hay there because it just tastes yummy, smells yummy. You know, also those horses that have just stood there all day.
Yeah.
Their gut isn't moving. Nothing's moving. And this is why I don't like to see big round bales just chucked in the field. It just creates too many problems.
Mm.
You know, and it will be people blaming another person's horse or that person for why their horse is injured, when the whole system, the whole routine of how the horses are kept, that's the problem, isn't it? They won't say to the yard owner, this is why my horse is being kept.
Yeah.
They're more likely to look and say, that horse over there, that kicks, that does. You know, you've got to watch out for that horse, when the only reason that horse is kicking is because...
The infrastructure.
The infrastructure of the yard, but because that's what horses do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, you know, we've took them out of their wild environment and asked them to live in a couple of acres with anything, with any type of horse, and, you know, just wouldn't happen in the wild. I wonder how many kicks occur in the wild. I wonder. There's probably more fights between lead stallions. I don't know, dominant mares, I don't know. I bet there's more kicking that goes on in domesticated horses in paddocks than happens in the wild.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, because
most you got a chance to move away. You got all the domination.
The horse can run away as well. It's not. There's no post and rail trapping it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's no fighting over. Yeah. There'll be some fighting over resources, but not really. Not when they've got acres and acres and acres and acres to just roam around. You know, I mean, I've walked through the Welsh mountains and not seen horses kicking. Have you?
No.
Whereas you can drive past a yard and probably see a couple of horses kicking off. And then you watch horses spooking in a paddock, and what do? They run around the fence line. They can't get out, they can't get away.
Yeah.
They try to though. Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting.